Okay, number 5 is the crypts, or cryptocorin, if that's pronounced correctly. I've got one here to show you. This is the crypt lucens from Deneley. Got this today, and actually in the video today we're actually going to plant this, so stay around for that. Yeah, nice, really easy plant, low light, doesn't require any kind of CO2, although obviously it will flourish better with CO2, most plants will. But yeah, you can grow it in low light, grow it in gravel, sand, aqua soil, doesn't really mind. Number 5 only because for beginners, when you first buy a cryptocorin species, you'll buy it in the shop like this. And it looks lovely and green and amazing. And you plant it, and most of it kind of almost dies off. And a beginner can panic then and think, oh no, I've killed the plant. But you haven't, so don't panic. Just leave it, it's a slow grower. But when it comes back, it's an amazing plant, and it just forms almost different leaves usually, but it'll come back and it'll flourish, and it's very easy to use. So number 5 for me is crypts. If you are buying from Deneley, they will tell you on the label, easy, and where to plant it as well. There we are, number 5. Right, number 4 for me is Echolaris, or dwarf hairgrass, or hairgrass. Make it nice and easy, hairgrass. As you can see, a grassy kind of plant. Once again, yeah, easy category. Can plant this pretty much anywhere really. Probably more foreground, mid-ground, but anywhere really at all. It's a great plant. I've even got it growing in a low-tech tank in the shop. Very poor lighting, and it's already creeping across the sand. So very easy to use, easy to plant, very little care. Will get a bit shorter when you start to grow it in your aquarium. Doesn't really stay this long usually. Yeah, fantastic plant. Hairgrass, can't go wrong. Number 4. Very easy plant, great for beginners. Number 3 for me is actually something maybe you wouldn't expect to be on this list. It's actually moss. I pulled it out of my aquarium just there a few minutes ago, still dripping wet. Yeah, it's actually one of the very first plants. I think it might actually be the first plant I actually started with was moss. I find it, and I think it is exceptionally easy to use. You can stick it into crevices in wood, rock, any decorations. You can just throw it in and it will grow. Grows really easy, requires very little attention. Great for aquariums if you've got kind of baby fish, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, great for that. Grows really well, grows really quite quickly, can spread all over the place. That could be one reason why you might want it as a beginner, because it can go everywhere. If you don't maintain it properly, you could actually end up with a tank full of it. But that can be great too. Actually, I've got a moss ball behind me in the jewel, which was moss, just literally spread all the way across the wall, and it actually looks amazing. I've actually got a video on that, so check that out. Yeah, but number 3 for me, aquatic moss. Loads of different varieties, easy to use. Plant it, forget about it. Aquatic moss. And at number 2, if you've seen my channel before, this will be no surprise, because I love this plant. Linephilia sessiflora. Just pulled it out from my aquarium. I've got stacks of it. That's why it's kind of easier to grow. This is super easy to grow. You plant it in, it will spread absolutely insane, really quickly, really fast. It's a really attractive plant as well. Bushes out, nighttime even closes up. This is a fantastic looking, unbelievable growing plant, especially if you've got a new aquarium and you're trying to get past them algae stages. Pop some of that in, you won't get no algae at all. It's so fast, it consumes everything. Algae won't have a chance against it. I almost think it's from number 1, but there's one more that really is more for beginners, so I should add that number 1. So number 2, Linephilia sessiflora, absolutely one of my favourite plants. Absolutely fantastic aquarium plant. One for me are the attaching plants, or epiphyte plants they're also called. These are varied in variety, Anubias, Java fern and some others. Low light is absolutely fine, don't require any substrate, so no sand, soil, nothing like that. They can be attached to some door decoration and planted straight away. That's why they probably are most easiest plant for beginners to actually use. There's no real particular care required for most of them. A lot of them are in the easy category. Easy to use, easy to grow. So number 1 are attaching plants for me. So that's my list, guys. Now, we are going to go in a few seconds and plant that crypt for you. So I'm going to show you how to do that from pot to tank. If that's not your thing, then this video is over for you, because that's my list. If not, stay around, we'll plant that and then we'll get going. So yeah, here we are, guys, with the crypt. Here we are, ready to go. So simply, obviously, remove any packaging. Then you've got your pot. Just going to gently remove that plastic pot, like so. That's it. And then you'll see this kind of wool, or rock wool they call it on the plant, you can just separate this up. You can pull most of it off by your fingers first anyway. Just pull some of it off. You can also wash this in a cup. That also helps as well. I don't really mind, just kind of get it off with my fingers usually. Just get in there with your fingers, get most of it off. And then you can use a tool like a fork or tweezers and just continue on. Just going to scrape that off now, just like that. Just be very careful you don't damage the roots, of course, because this is the root feeder. You don't want to do that. But just, yeah, gently take out as much as you can. Don't worry if it's not all gone. It doesn't do a massive amount of damage or anything if some gets into your aquarium. It is just a substance for nutrition. But obviously you don't want too much of that in your aquarium because you could probably get algae or something. So yeah, just get rid of that as much as you can. Nice and clean, look, here we go. That's the plant, nice and fresh. And you get one, maybe even two portions, maybe even three portions of this plant. You can just separate gently. There we go, so that's a portion there. And we're separating again gently, not damaging the roots. There we go. And we've got, so in this pot, I've got 3 decent sized portions. 3, it was actually 4. There we are. So, I'll pop this into the aquarium, and that's it, that's done. Dead easy. So, I use my fingers for this. You can use tweezers, but I find fingers is okay. I'm just going to find a nice little spot there for that now. Pop it in there, deep as you can, into your substrate. And we can plant this in around where I've got other crypts. I've got quite a few in here actually, as you can tell. Some of a little bit of algae on these. We're dealing with the algae now. We've got a video on that as well, of why that happened. I've got a bit of algae in this tank. I'm just going to plant this, like I say, nice and deep as you can, into your substrate. Don't worry if some of the leaves have actually gone underneath. They'll come back anyway. And just going to plant this last bit. There we go. No, this tank, no real planting format because they're everywhere anyway. And that's it, guys. That's your plant prepared, planted, done in a couple of minutes, ready to go, and we're done. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Check back for more, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this kind of content.